we see brands as not just a force for growth, which is an important part of our business and our future, but after 182 years, Procter & Gamble also sees the power of brands to be a force for good. And so for us, what does that mean every day? It means that we're looking at how do we take those conversations, that relationship we have with people every day in those little moments, and how do we take on some of these challenges where we want to have an impact? And we do it with you, and we do it in a way that we hope will create a better environment for conversations. We really think that in these hairy issues or some of these things that are really challenging all of us, it's all about dialogue. It's about sparking some conversations that can open mindsets and lead eventually to change and certainly the impact we all want to see. We have taken on a lot of these social, call them, issues, and this is not the only one we've done in the gender space. Certainly we focus on gender bias and revealing it in our advertising and really sparking those conversations. In the Gillette case, it follows Ariel, which is one of our laundry detergent brands around the world that had Share the Load about men's role at home. We've had others that have, we have all sorts of advertising that portrays men actively involved at home and with their families, whether it's washing dishes in Dawn commercials or lovingly diapering their babies in our Pampers ads. I mean, we believe that in our advertising we can show the important role that men play in creating a more gender equal world. Not everyone agrees this belongs in advertising. Some people would like us to stick to selling products. But what we know is that across, from Gen Z all the way to boomers, there is a large population who does expect to know your values. And authenticity was in your very opening video. That is true ever more every day.
And the question was, in a growing economy, is everybody really participating? And is everybody really engaged in a way that is, rising tides lift all boats? Is that really true? And there is an opportunity gap in this country and in this, it's a global issue. And so how can JP Morgan Chase, as a big bad bank, but a financial services institution with real expertise, weigh in? And so when I think about our superpower, it's about leveraging our strengths. And in that, it's about expertise, and it's about our network, and it's about our voice.
And sometimes I think in the private sector especially, we get a little overly competitive about who's the leader in this space or that space, when really we need to come together and collectively, as you said, have all boats rise. So we can compete on innovation in our products, we can compete on creativity in our advertising, but we all need to come together across the industry. And so convening and bringing people together is something that we've been doing very visually for the last, and verbally, and kind of on all these platforms over the last several years, because we know that there's individual action that people can take and there's collective action. And when the two get together and move forward, we can really accelerate our progress. And so we're trying to find these ways to bring expertise across an entire industry to really transform advertising so that it can create a new normal. It can tackle some of the bias that's been embedded, and we can have a new world where equality is the new normal across all different types of equality and intersectional, not just gender, but race and religion and education and all these different things that we see, so that we can get past some of these barriers to really advancing our progress.
For example, a few years ago when the right was organizing the rallies in Charlottesville, we realized we had an opportunity to stand up and say that we were going to cancel bookings for people who were traveling there for the purposes of participating in that rally. Thank you. It's one of those things where it was not a tough business decision by any stretch, and we certainly received an extreme amount of backlash on social media. But it's ultimately when you're a business driven by a community, that means some people aren't going to belong in that community, and it's better to be very vocal about what you believe in and what you stand for, so that it's clear to everybody. And we certainly think it's made us stronger and has helped strengthen the community and drive the business as a result. The genesis of our work, which we call Open Homes, all started from a suggestion from one of our hosts in Brooklyn after Superstorm Sandy. She contacted us to say her neighborhood was fine, she wasn't impacted, she had a very big place, but we were making her charge, and she wanted to have people stay there for free. We had the monetary transaction requirement in place to prevent fraud at the time, but we realized what a no-brainer this was. So a team worked overnight to basically replicate our platform, but stripping payments out, and Open Homes was born. Since then, we've helped respond to over 300 national man-made disasters. We've expanded to focus on other cause areas like refugee resettlement and helping asylum seekers in their new communities, and also medical travel.